Oh, Johnny, Tucker's over in Russia. He's going to interview Putin. Johnny, he got an interview with Vladimir, that's for sure. But Johnny, is he going to ask the tough questions? Is he going to get into him, or is he just going to give him a bloody free ride? If he gives him a bit of a bloody runaround with some hard questions, and Vladimir answers them honestly, well, as honestly as you can assume Vladimir will answer them, right? Yes, of course. I think you're going to see a whole lot of bloody derogatory stuff aimed at Tucker and Vladimir from the mainstream media, especially in the US. What do you mean?
Tucker Carlson is in Russia to interview Putin, and the legacy media and the establishment are outraged. Is this because Tucker is a traitor and it's somehow irreligious for him to have a conversation with Putin? Or is it because this conversation could give us the opportunity, along with the axis between Tucker and Elon Musk, to get an entirely different perspective on an extremely significant issue: global war?
So if Tucker asks Vladimir, say, Vladimir, why did you invade the Ukraine? Well, now you make me think of... And bloody Vladimir says, well, we don't see it as a bloody, as an invasion. We saw it as a step in the right direction to look after Russian self-interest. They'd probably say, yeah, you're a bunch of fucking idiots down. You can bloody bet your bottom dollar that everyone will just say in the mainstream, they'll say, that's a load. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a madman and a liar. You can't believe anything this fucking Putin says. You just can't believe. You're probably right. You can guarantee that's what they'll say. I can bloody see it now.
What happens in the interview, okay, we'll all wait and watch and make our own decision. But the freak out at somebody even going to Moscow to interview him, I find quite odd, Megan.
So sick of this nonsense. I mean, back in my day, we were allowed to interview the bad guys. It wasn't a shock to see a journalist across from a bad guy. I watched Mike Wallace in what was called Murderer's Row on 60 Minutes because they were all so tough. Interviewed the Ayatollah of Iran. I watched him interview the head of the KKK wearing a white hood.
They'll say Tucker's just a bloody arse licker, a brown noser. Holy shit, Jesus Christ. The thought of that is terrible. And he's just bloody asking the stuff that Putin wants asked. I mean, that's going to be... We're going to get flooded with that sort of shit.
If Tucker Carlson can interview Vladimir Putin and Elon Musk can publish it on X, that means that all of us are going to gain access to a perspective on a topic that could change the trajectory of world events that the establishment would rather we wouldn't have.
But if it's too controversial, Johnny, if it's too controversial, I can see the US authorities deeming it unfit for bloody US bloody viewing and ban the whole video from everywhere. Ban him? What, not let the bloody show air? They could use some new sort of bloody censoring laws. They've been bringing in enough of them to say that it's undemocratic or it's un-American or unfucking freedom or whatever, or a bunch of lies, misinformation, and you're not to run that bloody interview on anything.
I'm not saying I know the answer to these questions. I'm saying we're entitled to have a conversation, and I would like to hear what Vladimir Putin's got to say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, you know. They've been told for all their life that Russia is just a bunch of bastards who'll do anything to bloody kill us. China are a bunch of pricks too. They're going to try and take over the world. We've been getting it for years. So it's very difficult to come in and view all this stuff with a completely open mind. Well, that's a sorry state of affairs.